I heard it.
Okay, this is Wikispeed, Standup, Sunday, May 21st. And go ahead with your stand-up, Michael.
Okay, it's Michael Wolchuk in Saskatoon, Canada. Past week, I worked on tank level a little bit. Went up to the lake and worked on version 0.6. I'm not sure what happened to 0.5 because I didn't see that on the repository, but I've got it as version 0.6, so that's what I went with. The version does deep sleep, and it works on both a regular ESP32 dev module as well as the Fire Beetle. I cleaned up the code. I separated out some of the debug logic, and there's almost all of the code is split into sections that fit into a screen or fit onto a one screen, so you're not scrolling back and forth. It seems to work okay on both the Fire Beetle and well, the Fire Beetle isn't connected up to a TF Luna, but the ESP32 dev module is, and it seems to give me reasonable numbers. So I think it's working okay. Code was submitted to Wikispeed or Wiki Factory as a zip file. I was going to do individual files, but it looks like I haven't done that before. I think I just get them all grouped into a zip file, so I'm going to leave it that way. I also updated the README file, and I guess I figured out that the code is fine, and the reason that my system at home is not working is I either killed my Fire Beetle, or I killed the I2C interface, or I killed the TF Luna. I don't know which I did, so I'm going to have to work on that next week. Knitting machine, I worked a little bit on the web server program, and I simplified it a bit to just show what's important. I had a whole bunch of options that I'm not going to be using in any time in the near future. So if I need to change any of those parameters, we'll put them back in. But right now, there's like 3 things that I need to know: how many rows and how fast, and I can't remember what the last one is. Anyway, I did not do a video, and the code is not running right now. The website part is, but it hasn't been combined with the rest of the knitting machine thing. And for Trello, I did 3 updates last week. Actually, they were like an hour and a half ago. Next week, I am hoping to get TF Luna communicating with my Fire Beetle at home. I got another couple of Fire Beetles I can put together, figure out what exactly I killed. Knitting machine, I am hoping to get the web server done this week because it's been a couple of weeks now. And I actually had my great niece visit. She was in for a interview for a new job. So we went over what she's done, what she's like planning for the future when this program is done. It sounds like she wants like 3 or 4 machines running little slower and very reliably, so that she can make. She's looking at socks and toques and a whole bunch of other stuff. So made me tired just listening to her. Um, and Trello, I'm hoping to continue um, making updates as I get progress. And that's about it for me. Back to you.
Okay, Lawrence Salter, Gabriel Island, British Columbia, Canada. And I just continued to work on implementing and doing kind of an end-to-end version of the tank level here, and doing more than one. So I put the I yeah they're just sitting in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking maybe the TF Fluna is really small,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm thinking of a little zip tie. No, it has screws. Yeah, so I have to find some tiny screws, and I'll screw it into the bottom or the top actually of the fitting of the
Yep.
housing.
Those you can get 3/4 inch screws that'll probably fit pretty well for hinges on door frames.
Oh, door
They're
frame. Yeah.
brass.
Okay.
They're nice and soft, so that you can't tighten them down too hard because the
Okay.
brass is soft.
Okay.
Um,
Door hinge
it's
screws. Brass door hinge screws.
Yeah, or I mean, if you go to Home Depot or some other department store, they'll have similar size stuff. You
Right.
might want to take the TF Luna with you so that you know what the size of the hole is.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be easy. And then this one has pins.
Yep.
But the ones I'm going to be working with don't have pins. But regardless, I'm thinking of a zip tie. Even though they break after a few years, but I'm thinking of one or two zip ties to just hold it reasonably against the top of the. And what's it called again? This thing,
The
conduit,
electrical fitting. Yeah. The
electrical
the
fitting.
con electrical fitting. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking that's and then so drill a couple of holes
Yep.
and hold it down with a zip tie. Uh, I, it doesn't have any kind of it doesn't have a mount like the TF Luna. So
No, but the if you take a couple of pins, um, yeah, that won't work. I was thinking you could use the holes where you put the pins for a couple of pins that you don't use, but you'd have to have the female part glued onto the electrical fitting, and that's not any easier than what you're doing. Um,
yeah,
it,
or I could have a very thin screw, but I think the zip tie is being plastic and everything. Yeah, I don't want something metal going into those.
yeah, they do have standoffs, um, which is like a plastic straw with tabs on the top and the bottom. But again, you have to have like a way you stick it through the hole in the T and the ESP32, and you have to have a nut on top, and they're really teeny and fiddly
Yeah,
to deal with.
so I think just a small zip tie or two with
Yep.
holes going through to and secure it on the outside.
Okay.
And so then your thoughts on? I mean, I'm going to try unplugging it and plugging it, but I've done that a couple of times, both into the wall and into the.
So it does that on the laptop, huh?
It's actually a desktop, but yes.
Okay. So it's starting to sound like it's your cable
Yeah, so
because
I'll test it. Although it worked as soon as I plugged it in, it worked. It sent a message all the way through.
hmm,
So it worked, and then it stopped. So I tried resetting. It didn't do it. It didn't send me any messages. But then when I went to the thing, it's yeah. So it looks like yeah. So I'll use the shorter USB cable I was using before, and if that fixes it, then I've got a problem with the USB cable. I could try a larger brick on the end to see if that shoots any more power through it. Because I
well,
used my crummiest, smallest brick.
yeah, you might have to use a little bit newer one. So USB started out at half an amp at 5 volts,
Uh-huh.
and then that was like 1.0, I think. And somewhere along the line, they boosted it to an amp, and then the 2 amps. So it might take a USB 2 charger.
Okay, so let's go to crosstalk on this, and I will
Sure.
finish my update. So that
Yep.
basically that's what I did, and a coming week, get up the ladder and secure it in the thing. Get it working, get it up the ladder, and secure it in the thing. And see. Oh yeah, my neighbor I think has a concrete cistern, so I think that may be a no starter.
Well, you're measuring the level to the water. He's got to have a lid on it somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lid. I don't know what the lid's made. Maybe it's plastic. If it's plastic, then I'm good.
Well, most of the time there's a way to fill it. So there's got to be some way for him to take something off, a lid, a cover, something like that.
No, I'm sure
And
there's a cover.
it like uh, sometimes there's a concrete lid, but it has like a 4-inch hole in it that just has a plug or a plastic cover or whatever. So
Yeah, okay. Looks like Discord just used my camera. Turn off Discord. See if
yeah,
I,
you were frozen there for a little bit.
okay, you see me now?
No, I just see your initials.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to fuss about that. Uh,
So any blocks?
uh, yeah. I got a partner to help me on my garden, and they're very keen to get everything done. So I went to buy seeds and seedlings and garden gloves and stuff. It took more than I had planned to. I was very casual about it, but it's like everyone else's garden is they're all going and ours is bare. So,
Yeah, I'm in a similar situation. The Everybody else has been busy for the last week,
right.
and the volunteer that sets up all of the water hydrants around the common area has done his thing. So there's 6, I think, garden hoses set up with various soakers and sprinklers and stuff like that. And our patch is bare because
Yeah.
we haven't done anything. I guess I'll go with the
Yep.
retrospective then.
Yep.
So I got 7.5 points for last week, and I targeted 7, so I'm going to give myself a 10 out of 10. Team, I think we're going to go with 10 because you're making progress. I'm making progress. Maybe I'll go 9.5 because we could have more people show up. That would be better. And process improvement, I think we're going to stick with update and Trello so that when people come, they have something to do. Back to you.
Okay. So I'll give myself a 7. Uh, I didn't do a lot, but I did uh, continue with the end-to-end testing and troubleshooting, and 10 for the team. And I agree on the process improvement, and that's it for the stand up. So I'm going to stop the recording